You're listening to Sox in the Basement, a production of the Broadcast Basement Limited, where every show is 30 minutes of good and comes from a basement bar on the south side of Chicago. Pull up a stool, pour a cold one, and join us right now for Sox in the Basement. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at soxinthebasement.com. The new digs are coming together, my friend. If you get a chance to look at the YouTube channel, you will see the first pictures of the new studio. I keep calling it the temporary studio. I don't know how long I will be here. I'm looking at different spaces. I'm kind of contemplating the idea of joining up with a local bar or a local record shop or doing something on my own. But I am really enjoying not doing all of the podcast from my own basement. Like, I get out and I see people. I go, the guy at the coffee shop has already learned my name in the last week or so. Like, I'm out in the world, like, existing. Like, I get up and I go to work. I find myself more productive instead of sitting down here in my pajamas doing shows. So this is a good thing for me. But for now, the temporary studio in mom and dad's little basement room that they have down here, I've set it up as a bar. I've taken all of my mother's pictures down and I've set up bar fare, and it will evolve. And I don't know if this camera shot on YouTube is going to be the shot going forward. And I have a guest chair now off in the side. So like if you've ever seen those podcasts where the person lounges in a chair, we've got a chair with a boom mic that comes over it for guests. And we may try that out with Dad since we're in his house. On the next episode, I'm trying to get him to come on and be on camera, and we could talk some White Sox with him. So it's evolving as we go along. The first show I did down here, I had the microphone up on crates. Now I have kind of a bar top, and we're building as we go here, and it's good to be back on Sox in the Basement. How are you?
I'm good. I'm also sitting on milk crates, as it turns out. So...
And we got to get you down here.
That's just by choice.
We got to get you down here. We have to get you here more often as well.
I look forward to coming to the basement bar top.
It's a basement bar still.
Lounging in a chair, perhaps.
It's still a basement bar. I'm still in a basement. I'm still at a bar. Like, I'm not lying in the intro. I'm still in a basement.
We don't have to change the name of the show then.
Yeah, I'm just in mom and dad's basement, which is weird. I'm not living here.
Sox in Chris's mom and dad's house does not have the same ring as Sox in the Basement.
It's still Sox in the Basement. It's just the temporary studio is here. And trust me, I'm not living here. I've already learned why I wouldn't live here. You would think like older people were quieter, right? Like you'd be like, no. It'll be quieter than in my house when I would have children running around when I was recording or the dog barking. No. My father walks like an elephant above me. Like if it doesn't get picked up on the mics, I'll be shocked. My mother just blurts out things and shouts them through the house. They're both so hard of hearing. At this point, like you're just listening to people on like the highest volume possible, and the doors do not block them out. So if you hear weird background noises, it's just the people that own the house.
Well, that makes sense. Makes sense. When
I say temporary, trust me, it's temporary. Something that's not temporary, our sponsors, Cork and Carry at the Park. They are at 33rd and Princeton in the shadow of the ballpark with an award-winning menu of burgers and ballpark favorites, an extensive bar with a rotation of craft beers, familiar favorites, spirits, and wines. They are your home base for White Sox pregame, postgame, and in-game viewing parties. And the indoor-outdoor seating, it's nice and cool out. This is the perfect weather. I know it's going to heat back up again, but it's like the perfect weather to go hang out, have a beer. It's starting to feel like Oktoberfest season because it is September. Oktoberfest in Germany is a September activity, not an October activity. So you can enjoy this month Oktoberfest and then next month Oktoberfest. Make your Oktoberfest 2 months long and and spend some of it at Cork and Carry at the Park. That's what I would do.
Yeah, push it over into November. I mean, come on.
Yeah, just spread it out as long as you can. It's one of my favorite times of the year.
Labor Day to Turkey Day, Labor Day to Thanksgiving should really just be Oktoberfest.
It should be Oktoberfest beers and smoking meats and all that good stuff, right? Like that. Yeah. This is the time for it, all right? And if you want to go hang out with friends and make new friends, Cork and Carry at the Park, where, by the way, now that things are calming down with me, I got to get over to one of their events. I mean, they've had Colson Montgomery over there recently. On Friday night, the night before this episode came out, Scotty Pods was over there hanging out. Like, pay attention to Cork and Carry's social media. because the ball players are stopping in, and I got to get over there myself and hang out with these guys. I can't wait. So I'll be at the next one. Now that things have settled down, I'll be at the next one. No matter who it is, as long as it's not the play-by-play guy on TV. I don't want to meet him because he's annoying. So, but otherwise,
was Colson Montgomery over there catching one of his own home runs?
Oh my gosh, is he hitting bombs?
Lord.
If this is real, Ed, you have to go out and add some power bats in the corner outfield positions. And you have to go out and sign a couple of inning-eating veteran pitchers that are at least slightly above average to put around your young pitching. Because next year, you'll be a good enough team that people are coming out to the ballpark. You may be above 500 at times in the summertime. You could go win something. I mean, imagine, he's on a pace right now where he could hit 60 home runs if he had a whole season in front of him. He could hit 60 home runs. He's on that kind of pace. His last 15 days, he's hitting 261 with 7 bombs. We talked about how Lenin Sosa was going to lead the team. He's blowing right past him. First, he sold out for the home run, and it actually worked. How many times have they tried to do that with players? And it doesn't actually work. No, he's selling out for the home run, and now the average is starting to creep back up again. If this is real, put some bats around him. Hell, add another 35 home run guy, put 2 Bash brothers in the middle of the lineup, and you got a puncher's chance in every game, and it's exciting. You have more here than I expected at the end of 2025. I did not expect this. You know, you could say, oh, let's see if one of these young guys develops and let's see what we got with this guy. And I believed in Lenin Sosa, but and what he's doing right now is exactly probably the top end of what I thought he could be, which is a major league hitter that can really contribute to your team. But Colson Montgomery had not looked like he was going to be very much. Every level he went to, his stats declined. And then he had to go into that special whatever session that he did down in Arizona, and they bring him up around the All-Star break. And if this is real, this is what, remember when they told you Yoan Moncada one day is going to be one of those middle of the order guys that hits a bunch of bombs, or Luis Robert Jr. is going to consistently be a superstar? Well, Luis Robert Jr. and Yoan Moncada were always hurt, and Moncada never did something like this. I love this. You need a guy like this, and he's just getting started. If this is real, don't waste 2026. You have a low payroll. Go out and buy some bats and a couple of arms, and you can continue to develop, and you won't be breaking the bank. And let's get back to playing baseball on the south side of Chicago.
Yeah, you're on a 5-game win streak right now, and it's almost all powered by this offense. And it's Colson Montgomery being a legitimate home run threat in the middle of the order, and you're right, his pace, the 17 home runs that he has on the year. Remember when he got called up, 19 home runs for Lenin Sosa, who's played pretty much all season. But you're getting buoyed by a lot of guys in this lineup. Teal and Caro continue just to absolutely massacre the ball. Teal over the last 15 games, 372 with a 1.039 OPS.
Curtis Mead is hitting 289, Ed.
Curtis Mead, who you get by trading a guy off the scrap heap in Adrian Hauser, is hitting 289. He's got 5 doubles.
Last 2 weeks, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. No, I'm not going to count Corey Lee in the last 2 weeks. He just got back up here. He's got 4 at bats right now, and he's got almost a 2,000 OPS. So that we'll count that. We'll take that one out. But Montgomery, Teal, Benintendi, and Vargas are over 1,000 OPS right now. And then Caro, Robert, Meidroth, and Mead are all above that 700 line that I draw. That's 8 players. That's 8 guys that you put in your lineup that are all at average to above average to superstar type numbers at the plate. And I know that's a small sample size, but that's what you're going to see at the end of the season when you start off the season with most of these guys aren't here yet. They're going to be showing up as the season goes on. We're going to do some development. Let's see what we got. This is what you wanted in September, and it's here. Like, I got stopped in the parking lot of my local bank yesterday by a weirdo. I mean, it wasn't a normal person. It was a weirdo. He was a weirdo.
Okay.
You know what he reminded me of? He reminded me of that guy that was in the James Bond movie and then plays the really tall guy in Happy Gilmore. He's dead now, so they had to replace him with his so-called son in the second movie. I can't remember.
The guy who plays Jaws.
Yeah, he plays Jaws. That guy.
Yeah.
He looked like him, but albino. Imagine albino Jaws. He was huge.
Was he a nice, normal human being in terms of his personality?
No,
and everything?
he was weird. Right away, you could see it. You could see the crazy in his eyes. He had ripped He had ripped pockets. I think he wears the same jeans every day of his life. When he talked to you, you kind of took a step back. You're kind of like, oh, okay. I mean, he followed me through the parking lot. It's like one of those things where you walk out of the bank.
Okay, that's a little much.
Right, you completed your transaction. He sees my White Sox shirt that I'm wearing. And he's like, White Sox, which happens all the time. I mean, don't tell me there aren't Sox fans. Like you walk, if you're wearing a White Sox shirt, random people just go, White Sox. I don't know what I'm supposed to say back to that.
White Sox. Go, White Sox.
Like, what am I supposed to say back?
And then they're trying to start you on Captain Stubby and the Buccaneers. You're supposed to sing, let's go, White Sox.
What is the proper response when somebody sees your White Sox shirt or your White Sox hat and just yells, White Sox? Do you go, yeah? Or do you go, way to go? Or I love them? Or I hope Jerry dies? Or like, what do you say that's the proper response back?
We need to come up with something, I think.
Mull that while I tell you about Window and Door Superstore of Oak Forest. For exterior windows, doors, patio doors, and storm doors with no high-pressure sales, go to Window and Door Superstore of Oak Forest. Owner and showroom and on site, all Window and Door Superstore installers. They don't farm out the work. They've been doing it that way for 40 years in Oak Forest since 1985 with all major brands custom made and no stock items for a perfect fit. Window and Door Superstore of Oak Forest. Got the windows taken care of in my house so I could sell it. They did it on time. They did a great job. The guy who was buying the house was super excited. You should use them as well. Half block east of 159th and Ridgeland at 6280 159th Street. See more at windowdooroakforest.com. What did you come up with? What's the proper response when somebody just looks and sees an article of clothing, goes, White Sox? Kind of like John Schriffen.
I think you got.
They just shout something like they have Tourette's. Yeah. White Sox. That's what he sounds like in the booth.
I think you got to answer with a "Let's go."
Oh please stop! Oh, you're hurt. People are turning off
White
the podcast.
Sox.
People are turning. You Andy the Clown it? Is that what you do? You Andy the Clown.
Yeah, you Andy the Clown.
Oh, well, that'll stop from talking to you. Maybe I should have done that because he follows me out of the bank. This giant albino who follows me out of the bank, and he just yells White Sox. So I don't know what to do. I'm like, yeah, they're, and I you don't know what to say. So you go, yeah, they're hitting really well lately. And he goes, oh, did you see that Montgomery home run? Now I'm in a conversation.
No, you're in a conversation.
No, I'm trying to make it through the parking lot to my car. I don't even know if he has a car. I think he just walked there. But now he's following me through the parking lot and he wants to talk White Sox. And I don't think I can outrun him. He has huge legs and he's kind of scary looking. And so I'm kind of like, oh, yeah, he's hitting the crap out of the ball. If this is real, oh, yeah. And then you see they came back the other night and he's super excited about the team. Pumped up about it. And the question that this giant asked me as I was fumbling for my keys, because I was like, I don't know. It's like sometimes I like human interaction. I did not want human interaction that day. I just did not. But I mean,
there's times.
He was really excited about the team. He was like, you could do something next year. If this cheap owner, he was at least normal enough that he understood that Jerry Reinsdorf was the problem. If this cheap owner would just do something, like we could put a team on the field next year. Like, we could have a reason to watch this team. That's what this guy's telling me. And I'm agreeing with him as I'm getting in the car. I'm agreeing with him. I'm like, yeah, I'm with you, man. Go Sox. And shutting the door and speeding off. But he did pose an interesting question to me. Do you think they'll lose 100 games? And I told him, no. I do not think they'll lose 100 games. Now, this just comes off the top of my head in the parking lot without looking at the schedule, without looking at the standings. So I want to find out today whether or not I'm right, or if we think I'm right. They're red hot. They've won 5 in a row as we sit here and record on Friday for the Saturday release. So they're going to play the Tigers the first of 3 before this episode comes out. So they've either won 6 in a row, which is really impressive going up against the best team in the American League on Friday night, or they finally took a loss. Before their 5-game win streak, they also lost 5 in a row. So this is still an unstable young team. So you have to keep that in mind. Volatile.
Yeah, volatile at best.
Going into the weekend series with the Tigers, the White Sox are 53-88. That means there are 21 games remaining to get you to the full 162, and I confirm this by counting every game on the schedule. For them to win 63 games, which would give them only 99 losses and avoid triple-digit losses, which is something I predicted at the beginning of the year on this show that they would not lose 100 games. While everybody else was saying there's no way that they do it. Again, Lenny Sosa was going to be good. I thought the pitching would be the star, not the hitting. But I figured when Teal and Carroll got here, we were going to get some kind of offense, and I believed in the manager. It's not the exact way that I would have drawn it up. Some of the things I thought were going to be good weren't good. Some of the things I didn't expect to happen happened unexpectedly. But I believe they got at least 63 wins. And I said it on the show in spring training at the beginning of the year. I believed they would get better as the season went on. So now they have to go 10-11 over the last 21 games to get 63 wins and avoid 100 losses.
Which is so workable.
It is workable. 11. So you believe it's possible. Before we even go through the schedule, you believe it's possible. Okay, let's go through the schedule now. We're going to count the game that happened on Friday night before this show aired. And the way I count it up is you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 series left to go to make up those 21. 7 3-game series. This is very easy to figure out. If you win just 1 game in each series, you only need to find 3 series in which you take 2 out of 3. Okay? And that's what I'm looking at. They might get swept.
Don't get swept.
They might sweep someone, but let's just assume they don't sweep anyone and nobody sweeps them back. All right? And if it does happen, if they get swept, maybe they sweep somebody else. Let's just assume they can get 1 game out of every series, and they just got to find 3 series where they can take 2 out of 3. So the first series against the best team in the American League. And I will say right off the bat, I'm not going to bank on them taking 2 out of 3 from the Tigers, no matter how hot they are right now. So I'm only giving them 1. Do you agree or disagree?
I think I would agree with that. I without looking at the pitching matchups, because I just don't have them immediately in front of me, I think you can steal 1 from the Tigers very, very easily in Detroit. I don't know that you're going to, I don't think you can get 2 out of 3 from these guys right now. They're
really
still
good
playing
team.
For an awful lot.
They're a really good team.
Really good.
They're playing for that number 1 seed, and they're I don't see them slowing down much for the White Sox, even if the White Sox are red hot right now, which they are. And they have Colson Montgomery, who just hits bombs. Just hits bombs. And according to the folks I know over at Cork and Carry, one of the nicest people they've had in there. Just a good kid is how he was described to me. Like, just one of the nicest people. They've had so many people, past players, current players. Like I said, Scotty Pods was there on Friday night. But, like, one of the best people that they've had in there. That's how he was described to me. Just a great kid. So now we look, they get a day off and they're at home against the Rays. The Rays, this is a team you could take 2 from. I'm looking at the middle game, the 10th on Wednesday, Nurses Night. They're going to win for the Nurses. I'm giving them the Nurses Night right away.
You think they'll win for the Nurses?
Oh, yeah. You got to win for the Nurses, especially the ones that work those overnights and they're in the bar at 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, when everybody's coming off of the midnight shift. Those are my favorite nurses, by the way. I used to love them.
You like those nurses?
When I worked overnights. Those are always the prettiest ones, too. And they're in there at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's the end of their day. Or maybe they're the prettiest ones. Maybe they're the prettiest ones because I'm exhausted too. We all look good at that time.
Well, that's true. And when you've been up all night and 8 in the morning, a lot of things look wonderful.
We all look good at that time. When you're coming off of midnights or you're coming off of like a week of like working overnights and you finally hit the bar before you start your weekend and it's 7 a.m. at one of those 24-hour bars, right? Like that, we all look good.
Oh, yeah.
But I think they win for the Nurses. Now, I don't know if they win on CHSN night on Tuesday because, I don't know, CHSN is a train wreck, so I would expect that game could be a train wreck. That's my reasoning at this point. You got the worst play-by-play guy in all of sports as your TV announcer. I'm giving them a loss on that one. So can they win the third game? Maybe. It's probably getaway day for the Rays. It's a 1-10 game. I say they take 2 out of 3 against the Rays. What do you think?
Yeah, I would give them 2 out of 3 against the Rays. I think, they've had their number already in terms of the pitching. I know they were playing in the minor league ballpark, but they've done well against them. And the Rays are not an impressive team this year. They are not what you remember from years past.
All right, we found one of the series. The next series is on the road against the Guardians.
I think you only get one there.
You only get one there, you're saying?
I think you only get one on the road against the Guardians. I think you only get one.
All right, well, then I think you got to take 2 out of 3 from the Orioles then back at home. The 15th, 16th, and 17th. Roberto Clemente Day on the 15th on Monday. You got the $5 Tuesday promo on the 16th. You got another day game, but you're off the next day on the 17th. You got to take 2 out of 3 there, I believe. The Orioles are not that good. They're a sub-500 team. You're red hot.
No, I think if you're looking at the series that they could sweep, it's the Orioles, because I don't think you can underestimate just exactly how hot the garbage is in the Orioles dugout right now. They are an abysmal team. There's a bunch of guys that are flailing that were these hot prospects, the ones that we wanted them to trade.
Remember
Dylan
when
Cease
they
for.
wouldn't trade any of their prospects to us? And I was like, you have way too many position players, and they just held on to them all, and it turns out a lot of them suck. Like this.
Yeah, I was reading an article that the Orioles might just need to accept that Kobe Mayo is kind of terrible because he's got a really bad swing.
He's bad. I held on to him in my fantasy baseball league, and I'm about to drop him the first time I need to make room here because I'm in the World Series 3 weeks, 3 games, and if I need to make room for a guy coming off the injured list that can contribute to me winning a championship, he's the first person I'm dropping off of my 40-man roster into the wind because he sucks, and we wanted him. Herstad, all these guys. We wanted these guys. The Orioles are hot garbage. They did not handle this the right way. And I love it. I mean, if a team deserves it, it's the team that treated everybody terribly at all these trade deadlines, and they held on to all these players like they were the next coming of future Hall of Famers. And it's not worked out for them. You're right. They could sweep them, but I'm not giving away sweeps, and I'm not accepting sweeps. So 2 out of 3 there. That's the second series.
No. But yeah, 2 out of 3, I think is a lock there. But I'm just pointing as if we needed a sweep to get this done, if the Sox needed to sweep anybody, the Orioles are a very, very viable sweep candidate.
Okay. The next weekend may be the most fun weekend that is coming up left on the schedule at the ballpark. I'm going to be there this weekend. I'm going that weekend. I don't know if I won't be there on the 20th because I'm going to Pollyanna Oktoberfest out in Lamont. If you're going to go to that massive, I mean, that is really the best Oktoberfest in the entire area at the Forge. Okay. And so I'll be
will you be talking about that on Lamont Unlocked?
Yeah, I will be. But I mean, I'll be actually covering it for Lamont Unlocked. We'll have a tent out there and I'll be drinking a lot of beer and come by and say hi. But that's on the 20th. Now, they'll be drinking a lot of beer at the ballpark because it's halfway to St. Patrick's Day. Rowdy crowd.
Right. Hispanic
Heritage Night the night before. Always a great crowd. Always a great crowd. Okay. And so you've got this great 3-game series against the Padres. The problem is the Padres are really, really good.
Right.
So I don't know if I want to give them 2 out of 3 as much as I want them to get 2 out of 3. And the next series after that is the Yankees on the road who just swept you. So there is a possibility on the road against the Washington Nationals, you need to win 2 out of 3 to get to 63 wins. It could really come down to the end. And
there's another team that is bad.
Yeah. See, I think they get it on the last weekend.
The Nats are bad.
I think they get it on the last weekend. I think they take 2 out of 3 in the final weekend. I think they make it a goal to not lose 100 games. But I think it's in doubt all the way up until the end. I still think they do it. It's not going to be as easy, though, as you think it's going to be to go 10-11 because you have a very tough schedule. The Guardians in Cleveland are going to be a difficult series for you. The Padres at home are going to be a difficult series for you. The Yankees on the road is going to be damn near impossible, just like the Tigers. Then again, you've been hot and you've got Colson Montgomery just hitting bombs and being a great overall guy, from what I understand. I mean, this, maybe they actually have a winning record the rest of the way. Maybe they get 64, 65 wins, and I'm in shock at the end. I still think that they don't lose 100, though. I'm hanging on to it, Ed.
Well, if you believe that their expected wins and losses of 62 and 79 is an indication that the White Sox are a better team than their record shows, then the month of September should be fun, and down the stretch should be a lot of fun. And I think everybody would have to agree with what we've just come up with each series. The only thing that makes it better is, one, there may be some pitching matchups in there against the Yankees and the Padres that work out in your favor. And two, there's always a chance that Colson Montgomery just starts hitting home runs with every at-bat and deflates each of these teams so badly that they all end up out of the playoffs. And we are championing Colson Montgomery as the new savior of the city of Chicago by the time spring training hits next year. And in no way, shape, or form is that overblown hype like we've had in years past, right?
Yeah, sure. Whatever. Let's close with the Sox nerd.
Okay.
That music means the Sox nerd. Dave Marin is closing things out here on Sox in the Basement with his trivia nuggets and tidbits, which he puts up on the scoreboard at the rate. Although he does a little bit more here each and every weekend. I feel like we get the bonus material. And he's brought to you by the Village of Lamont, who I mentioned earlier. Want to experience a downtown with real history, great eats and drinks, and green spaces filled with adventure? Visit the Village of Lamont. Shop, dine, drink, explore. The day this episode comes out, Taste of Lamont. I'll be at that one with Lamont Unlocked. And then on the 20th, come by and see me. Let's raise a giant stein of beer together and have a party at Pollyanna Oktoberfest at the Forge. See everything they have going on and more at LamontDowntown.com. Nerd, what do you got for me?
Fellas, these young White Sox are really giving me a lot of good material for the old scoreboard. Thanks to Colson Montgomery, I have done a deep dive on White Sox left-handed hitting shortstops. And let me tell you something. They are a rare breed. Only 9 southpaw swinging shortstops have homered for the Sox. Montgomery, with 14 dingers hit while playing short, is already second on the list behind Ozzie Guillen's 24, so he should be the all-time leader in this category early next season. Those 14 homers this season are already a Sox season best for lefty batting shortstop. Monty has left Mike Caruso's previous record of 5 set in 1998 in the dust. Other lefty shortstops who have homered for the Sox include George Orta, Ryan Goins, and Braden Shoemake. Interestingly enough, it was a left-handed hitting shortstop, Frank Shugart, on April 29, 1901, who hit the first home run in White Sox history. In case you were wondering, Baltimore's Gunnar Henderson set a single-season record for lefty shortstops with 37 homers last season, and Texas's Corey Seager is the all-time leader here with 221 round trippers. More on Montgomery. He hit 10 homers in August, which tied Jose Abreu's output in April and June of 2014 for the most ever by a Sox rookie in a month. And one more on Monty. His 14 homers are already a Sox rookie record for shortstops. The previous high was 9 by Tim Anderson in 2016. Rookie catchers Edgar Caro and Kyle Teel have combined to make 19 starts in the third spot so far this season. In the previous 124 years of the White Sox existence, freshman backstops made just 4 starts in the 3-hole, and those came in 1942, 1959, and 1961. Speaking of Teel, he became just the second catcher in Sox history to amass at least 3 hits with a homer, a double, 4 RBI, and a steal in a game on Thursday in Minnesota. The only other time that happened was on August 29, 2001, when Josh Paul pulled it off in Detroit. As a side note, rookies accounted for 11 of the Sox' 15 hits in that 11-8 win in Minnesota on Thursday. And how about Mike Vassal's save last Sunday against the Yankees? With the tying run on base, the rookie righty retired 3 consecutive MVPs, Goldschmidt, Judge, and Bellinger, to nail down a 3-2 win. It would take a hellacious amount of digging to find out if that had ever happened before. Lastly, I watched the Jeff Torborg documentary shortly after it dropped on YouTube on Thursday, and it was excellent. Made by Matt Flesh and his crew that put out the last Comiskey doc, Jeff Torborg, A Wonderful Baseball Life, recounts just that, a wonderful baseball life. You will laugh, you will cry, you will be amazed, but mostly you will learn about an amazing human being in Jeff Torborg. Full disclosure, I appear briefly in this 1 hour and 37-minute extravaganza. Before I get to my zinger, I remind you that gems like these and long-form pieces are available on my blog, which you can link to at soxinthebasement.com. My zinger, in honor of the 20th anniversary of the World Champions, I'm going to zing frequently about that team, throwing out some gems you may not know about the 2005 Sox. Third baseman Joe Creedy had an amazing September for the champs, and not just with the glove. Creedy topped the 05 Sox with a .375 average and a .726 slugging percentage in the final month of 2005. That's it, fellas. Probably more than you wanted to know about left-handed hitting shortstops, Mike Caruso, and the pride of Buffalo Grove, Josh Paul.
Sox in the basement. Sox in the basement. Sox in the basement.
Sox in the Basement. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always on soxinthebasement.com.